Assalamualaikum students. Today we are going to study about the rectangular coordinate system or Cartesian coordinate system or Cartesian plane and how we can represent a vector in a Cartesian plane. So remember one thing, keep that in your mind that there is a number line, center point is 0 and on the right of the 0 are the positive integers and on the right of the left of the 0 are negative integers. So left part represents negative integers while the right part represents positive integers. So let's see what is rectangular coordinate system or Cartesian plane. It is also known as XY plane and it is also known as the Cartesian plane in the honor of French mathematician René Descartes, who is known as the father of modern mathematics. It is the rectangular coordinate system. It is composed of two mutually perpendicular lines. Mutually perpendicular means the angle between them is of 90 degree. The two lines meet at a point that is called origin and the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0 and the origin divides the plane into four regions that are called quadrants. The whole plane consists of infinite many points and each point is defined by an ordered pair that is xy. So in this ordered pair, x is called the x coordinate or abscissa and the y is called the y coordinate or the ordinate. Here is a picture of René Descartes. See, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. The vertical one is y-axis and the horizontal one is x-axis. These two lines or these two axes are meeting at a point. This point is called origin and the points or coordinates of the origin are 0, 0 means x component is 0 and y component is also 0 at the origin. Origin is basically the starting point. So the whole plane is divided into four quadrants, that is quadrant first, second, third and fourth. In quadrant first you can see this is the 0 or the origin, that in the case of number line 0 is the center point and on the right of the 0 are the positive integers and the left of the 0 are negative integers. So for the first quadrant you can see that the x is positive, that is this one or abscissa. So y is also positive in this case. Above the 0 and right to the 0 are positive and left to the 0 and below the 0 are negative. So first quadrant is plus plus, that is both the coordinates are positive, and in second quadrant the first coordinate, that is x, is negative while the y is positive. You can see here x is negative and y is positive. In third quadrant you can see both are negative, x is negative and y is also negative, while in fourth quadrant you can see that x is positive, that is 1, 2, 3 and y is negative, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So first one x is positive and y is negative. There are quadrants. Quadrant 1, both the coordinates are positive. Quadrant 2, x is negative while y is positive. Quadrant 3, x is negative and y is also negative. In quadrant 4, x coordinate is positive and y is negative. There are also the points which lie on x and y axis, and these points lie exactly on x axis and y axis. You know, when the x coordinate is 0, when the x is 0, the point will lie on the y-axis. So x is 0 on y-axis, on the whole y-axis x is 0 and on the whole x-axis y is 0. So in the case x is 0, the point will lie on y-axis like 0 and 8, and in the case y is 0, the point will lie on the x-axis, that is the case 2, 0, 5 and 10. Here are the points given and you have to tell the quadrant. So both are negative, third quadrant. First positive, second negative, fourth quadrant. First negative and fourth, second one is positive, second quadrant. Here y is 0. Y is 0 on the x-axis, so the point 5, 0 will lie exactly on the x-axis. And in the case y is minus 2 and x is 0, this point will exactly lie on the y-axis because x is 0 on the y-axis. What are the uses of rectangular coordinate system in our daily life? We can use the rectangular coordinate system to find a particular place on the map and to locate the seat of your classmate in your classroom using audit pairs. Cartesian plane is used in drawing objects. Then see how we can draw a vector in two-dimensional Cartesian plane. So in two-dimensional Cartesian plane there are two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis. This is called origin, and we draw a vector from the origin to a certain point P which has the coordinates x and y. It means that we have to travel x distance along x-axis and y distance along y-axis to reach the point P. Say x is 2 and y is 3, so we have to travel 2 meter or centimeter, whatever the scale we are using. We must have defined the scale first. So 2 meter along x-axis and 3 meter along y-axis. After that we will reach at the point P. Also in this case, this angle that the vector R is making with x-axis, this is known as alpha or phi, and the angle with y-axis, this angle is known as named as beta. This is beta. In your book this diagram is given. You can see first step is to define a scale. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 Newton. The magnitude of the force is given as 50 Newton. So 1 centimeter is 10 Newton. So 50 Newton will be equal to 5 centimeters. So it will be equal to like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the vector length will be along this. So this is the force vector, that is 50 Newton, drawn in xy plane. Here this angle that the force vector F is making with x-axis, this angle is called alpha, and this angle that force vector F is making with y-axis, this angle is known as beta. So this is the way that we can represent a vector in xy plane. In case of 3 dimensions, we have 3 axes. You can see this is the 3-dimensional case. This is the axis, x-axis and y-axis. The angle between x-axis and z-axis is 90 degree. The angle between z-axis and y-axis is 90 degree, and the angle between x-axis and y-axis is 90 degree. So all these 3 axes are mutually perpendicular to each other. You can see in the example by considering the corner of a room. That is also the case of 3 dimensions where we can take 3 axes. So here we can draw vector as, you can see from here to here like this. We can draw the vector, say this is vector F. So in this case, that is the case of 3 dimension, the vector F will have 3 components, that is 2, that is x component, then 3 y component, and 5 is z component. So x, y and z, there are 3 coordinates of the vector in the case of 3 dimensions. X component along x axis and y component along y axis and z component along z axis. Here the values are 2, 3 and 5 for x, y and z component. The angle that the vector F makes with x axis, that is this one, this angle is alpha, while the angle that the vector F is making with y-axis is known as beta, while the angle with z-axis, this angle, it is gamma. In this figure you can see that the vector is drawn in xyz plane, that is the 3-dimension or space. So vector has 3 components, that is x, y and z. The angle that the vector, say this is vector F, suppose this is the vector F, that is force vector. The angle the force vector making with y-axis is beta, angle with z-axis is gamma, and the angle with x-axis is alpha. Here there are three coordinates, that is 2, 3 and 5 are x, y and z. It means that to reach at a point P, 2 units along x-axis, 3 units along y-axis and 5 units along y-axis must be travelled. So to reach at a point, 2 units along x, 3 units along y and 5 units along z-axis must be travelled in this case. In your book, this diagram is given. You can see here the force F. Say this is the force vector F. It is drawn, and the angle it is making with the x-axis, that is this one is alpha, angle with y-axis is beta, and the angle with z-axis is gamma. So this is basically the representation of vector in three-dimensional space or x, y, z plane. If you guys have any question, you can ask me in the comments.